Good evening.
Good
Yeah,
evening, sir. My name is Riya Mishra, and
yeah.
I am from Kolkata. I did my schooling from Sudhir Memorial Institute and my plus two from Kalyani Public School. They both are affiliated to CBSE. I did my graduation in accountancy honors from Saint Surajmal Jalan Girls College. It is affiliated to Calcutta University, and now I'm currently pursuing MBA HRM from ISWBM, and I'm currently in my second year.
Right.
I took HR as my specialization because I feel HR is a very crucial department from the point of view of both employers and employee. And I wanted to be a part of this department, which holds such a important position and which actually acts like a bridge between the employers or the means the top level management to the lower level management or the people working below them or the lower when they are in the lower level management. So I feel they act as a bridge. So I wanted to be a part of that department. So that is why I chose HR as my specialization.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. So thanks, Ria, for doing this. I think I know that you and as part of the HR program, you've done the internship, and this was one of the topics that the one that you're presenting today is one of the topics of the internship that you did, right? The summer internship. So why don't you introduce us to the topic, and we can take it from there. And I know you have a presentation, so feel free to bring up the slides.
So my presentation topic is today it's employee engagement. So can I share my
Go
screen
ahead.
right now?
Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So today's topic of my presentation is employee engagement. And this is the content of my presentation. That is, firstly,
Right.
we're going to talk about what is employee engagement and employee disengagement, then
Right.
the behavior of engaged and disengaged employees, followed by the ways of employee engagement in which we can improve that, and the metrics that we use to analyze the relationship of employee engagement,
Right.
and why organization culture is important,
Mm-hmm.
then the mistakes that people have regarding what is employee engagement, and the assumptions that we generally take which are not right,
Correct.
and followed by the conclusion.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Awesome. Because I think, and I remember those initial conversations, Ria, around employee engagement, and I think you're this is a time and COVID, post COVID, so it's like an era, right? Things would used to happen pre and post are like
Post.
very different, right? So I think, but employee engagement, I think, is a topic which has remained the remained crucial. I'm using one of the words you used for HR as a function and for, I think, organizations altogether, right? Great. So do you want to put this on the slide share mode so that it's a little more
Slideshow.
visible? Yeah, the slide show mode, and then all the stage is yours.
Okay. So firstly, we're gonna talk about what is employee engagement. So employee engagement is actually refers to how connected the employee feels towards the organization they work for, or what is their role. It is actually they care about the work they do or the organization, and it's not just
Right.
about the paycheck they get or working for the next promotion or getting promoted is the only their goal. There should be a commitment towards the organization, and they should work on the behalf of organization goals and objectives.
Right.
So I feel driving the workers commitment to align those goals and objectives accordingly is very important for employee engagement. And disengaged employees, I feel they have no real connection with the organization, and they tend to do a bare minimum job, and that's it. They don't feel that they have a real connection with the organization, or they will be able to give their 100%, or there's something wrong with with the environment or the management or the work
Right.
they do. Everything is wrong. They have a negative attitude,
Right.
and they will always be have a mentality of having 9 to 5 clock, and they'll just leave. They won't participate in any social events. So I feel these are the characteristics of disengaged employees. So
Mm.
here I have elaborated. So These are the engaged behavior employees, that is optimistic. They'll have a positive mindset. They'll think, they'll carry everything in a positive way, be it the
Yeah.
work they do or the co-workers they have or the environment they are working in. But
Right.
on the other hand, disengaged employees will be very pessimistic, that will they have a very negative attitudes toward the organization or the people. They will have a very negative
Right.
aspect, that everything is going negative and it's not our fault, it's the organization that
Yeah.
is actually the faulty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
engaged employees, I feel they have a very team oriented nature, that is
Mhm.
they'll work well with other people and help the team members.
Right.
Rather, the disengaged employees will be very self centered. They'll only do what is good for them, and
Right.
which will give them the monetary value or the worth
Mhm.
they are working for, and not for the team or the organization.
Right.
Then I feel engaged employees will go beyond and above, so that the expectations and requirement are met in every possible way.
Mhm.
There's nothing lagging behind. But in disengaged employees, you'll see that there's high absenteeism. They won't even do what is required from them or what is
Yeah.
expected out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I feel engaged employees are very solution oriented. They'll try one or the other thing which will help them to resolve any issue or overcome an hurdle. But
Right.
whereas disengaged employees will have a negative attitude, that this has to be happen, and we can't solve anything, and this
Mhm.
won't work, and everything like that. Then engaged employees, I feel they are very selfless, and they'll try to uh, you know align things which will work for the organization and the team members.
Mhm.
Whereas disengaged employees will be very egoistic, and they'll work according to them what is right, and not
Mhm.
according to the others, or what is
Right.
demanding from the organization point of view.
Right.
Then I feel uh, engaged employees will have a passion for learning. They'll always try to
Mhm.
develop themselves, to upskill themselves, that what is
Right.
the new position required, and how things will be, what are the new skills required, how we can
Mhm.
learn these things. But
Right.
I think disengaged employees will have focus on monetary worth. They'll only consider what when we'll get the paycheck, or when we'll get the promotion, we'll act accordingly, that they will behave in that way. And engaged employees will definitely pass on the credit but accept the blame. They will have accountability, sense of accountability. But disengaged employees will definitely lack that. They'll accept the credit but pass on the blame. Okay, this was not my fault, this is not
Mhm.
what I thought. They'll
Mhm.
always pass on the blame. They won't have that accountability. So
Right.
this is, I feel, the behavior of engaged and disengaged employees.
Yeah.
So in which way we can try to improve employee engagement, or try to make sure that it encourages employee engagement. So I feel quality of life, that is the physical work environment, that is
Mhm.
exposure to the spatial dimensions, or the climate and safety in which the
Mhm.
employees are working. So I feel that should be
Right.
considered in order to improve the quality of life. Then
Mhm.
work life balance, today work life balance is a big issue for the people. So
Right.
and organization that supports work life balance is very important, and which
Mhm.
not only supports but tries to make sure that employees feel safe and able to manage that is very important.
Correct.
Then I feel workplace wellness initiatives such as emotional wellness and physical wellness of the employees are very important, and these should be taken care of by the organization, and the managers and the means upper level management should take
Right.
care of these.
Right.
Then I feel the positive work culture is very important, where the
Mhm.
organization trusts the employees, or there's a trust and empathy.
Yeah.
They respect the employees, to have an environment where people can
Yeah.
actually support each other and try to help each other is very important. Then
Right.
flexibility in work, to give them that the space, be it organizational or functional, is very important. And
Right.
to make sure that the communication is right, to have that flexibility among making the decisions is
Right.
very important. Then a
Right.
sense of accomplishment is important for employee to be considered, because people will means the employees will feel that they are actually, what they're doing is being considered and respected or recognized,
True.
is very important.
Right.
Then I feel the people in the organization, be it the
Mhm.
senior managers or the managers, the co-workers, colleagues, the
Right.
subordinates, and even the customers. I
Right.
feel the people influence employee engagement as well. Then opportunity in an organization, that is a career opportunity and training and development needs. If the organization is actually looking after the training and development needs, swiftly trying to make sure the policies and rules are aligned in such a way that people actually don't feel that okay, we are lagging this but the organization is not doing for us. This is very important, that these should be taken care of. What is the new need for the market or trend, and even the employees of the organization. Then I feel the company policies, and the practices, the rules that they have, to have a very seamless policies which will not hinder the employees mindset, to have a very to have feedback. Okay, if xyz policies are having issues, then we should have feedback. Okay, these are having issues, so we need to change. Where is the fault? Where are you facing issues? And then succession planning, I feel, is very important for the organization, that who, after taking feedback and performance management, who can actually be the next leader, or who can actually have the next can be promoted and fulfill the position which is being which is being which succession planning, I feel, which is which employees should be promoted, is important to identify them through performance management, to having a clear understanding of which employee is actually working well and whom to promote, to recognize them, is very important. Then I feel total rewards, the pay that the employees get, even the benefits, whether it's the medical benefit or the retirement benefit for an for the employees, these should be taken care of. And the recognition, the I think the workplace will feel more inclusive when people will feel more connected if they are getting recognition, and their efforts are being recognized and valued, is important.
Right. Right.
Then I feel metrics helps to conduct the workforce and helps to measure the employee engagement in an organization. And the results of such surveys, or the workforce surveys, can actually help that which employee initiatives, engagement initiatives, are actually working for the organization and which are not, to discontinue such initiatives and to try something or the other, in order to make sure that these initiatives work well, or taking another options which will definitely help in employee engagement or taking the right decisions. So I feel these are the steps to conduct the workforce survey, that firstly establishing the performance standards and set clear goals for the employees, then communicating the performance standards and expectations to the employees in order to make sure that they actually know what is expected out of them.
True.
Then measuring the actual results and comparing it with the standards, and then discussing the results with the managers or the senior level people, and then decision making and giving them feedback that okay, these were the things which needs to be taken care of, and these are the negative points where we lack, and this should be considered while taking the next step. So I think this is an example of actually, after evaluating the workforce survey, we can actually segregate the employees in 4 different categories. The first 15% that will be fully engaged employees, and they are the most enthusiastic people, and the most and the people who are actually working well, and they are asset for the organization. So they should be identified and recognized and rewarded. Then the next 35%, I think they should be considered key contributors, that they are strong and steady, but there are some issues because they are not in the top 15. So what can be done in order to make sure that they also contribute to their fullest and give their 100%? Then I feel the third group, or the next 35%, are strong opportunity for improvement. Means they are able to perform, but there is something or the other which is disturbing them, be it professional or personal, or we can accordingly have counseling sessions for them in order to develop them. Then I feel the last group, that is the last 15%, these are the disengaged employees, and they will definitely hamper the productivity of the organization and hamper the working environment for the rest of the 85% people which are actually willing to work and working. So identifying them and to act for them, that what steps can be taken, whether we have to keep these employees or not.
Mhm.
So these are very important decisions to make. So this is something I feel is important.
Right.
Then there are some recommendations from my side, that
Mhm.
organization culture is very important from the organization point of view, because this will be only beneficial when it is clearly communicated among all the levels of the employees and throughout the company.
Correct.
At every employee should know what is expected out of them, and
Mhm.
what are the steps they should do, or how things work. And
Right.
even the new hires, they will know that what is the responsibilities and what are the values of the organization, what
Yeah.
they stand for.
Yeah.
So they'll know how to behave in a certain, they will have to behave in a certain way. So
Right.
that is, I feel, is very important. Or else, if the cultural organizational culture is unknown to everybody, then I feel they'll be puzzled, they'll be confused, and
Mhm.
they will know, they will have a understanding problem of how to do things which will actually fetch the results. So
Yeah.
they'll be very confused, and they'll be unsure of doing things in a way. So I think that
Uh-huh.
will definitely affect the performance. So it's
Mm.
always better to clearly communicate what is going on in the organization, what is expected and what is not, what are the
Right.
steps to be done and what are not. So
Right.
these are very important from an organization point of view, to improve the productivity, to improve the uh, conditions of working, and to have a very clear and openness among the employees of what
Mhm.
to do and what to not.
Correct. Correct.
Then I feel the common mistakes that people have, that if employee entertainment is employee engagement, no, but employee entertainment is important as well. I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
employee entertainment is actually less about driving commitment and letting uh, uh, it's not about performance management, but it's actually about letting the employee know that they are being recognized, they are being valued, their initiatives and their hard work is being recognized. So these are important. And I think rewarding employees or going out for dinner or a fun Friday,
Mhm.
these are
Mhm.
important in order
Right.
to make sure that they feel connected with the organization and their
True.
co-workers, to
Yeah.
have a sense of
Yeah.
belonging with the organization and the
Yeah.
people they work for, because co-workers even are very important, because
Mhm.
they are the ones, they will have to work with a team, or even
True.
in the senior managers or the subordinates, they are the reporting relations. So
Yeah.
these are very critical things which will definitely help, will and improve the working conditions for the um, people or the
Right.
employees of the
Right.
organization. And making a bare minimum effort for the for employee entertainment will definitely cost, because it might create a, it might lack a sense of belongingness, and will
Mhm.
definitely affect in a negative way, and will decrease the overall employee engagement, because these little things will definitely these are not professionals, this will create a personal relationship, and that will definitely show in the personal as well as the professional relationship of the employees. So I
Right.
feel employee entertainment is important as well. And then the conclusion, that is, engaged employees are very motivated, they're productive, and
Mhm.
they can actually align the personal and objectives and the organization objectives, and align them and try to achieve that in a
Mhm.
very decent way, in which both their personal and the organizational objectives and goals are met. And I
Right.
feel the metrics are very important, because to actually identify who are the engaged employees and who are not, whom to promote, whom to not, and whom we need to get rid of, is also very important,
Correct.
because this will help us to understand whom we need to encourage more, or we can actually, through learning and development or training programs, we can actually develop them and help the employee and the organization both. So
Right.
this will boost an employee engagement, I think.
Awesome. I think that was great, and I think I love the parts where you mentioned about the matrix, and I think you also mentioned about the surveys that organizations do, right, to basically identify the engagement level. So there are these annual engagement surveys typically that's conducted in organizations, right? And that's where the matrix, so the four categorization of 15
Categorization.
35 that you showed was very nicely represented. and that's the outcome of the engagement surveys that's happened, right? And I think, we talked about pre and post COVID and all of that, and with the hybrid workforce, I think what's happening, a lot of the organizations are moving away from one point in time, which is your annual engagement surveys, to a more ongoing kind of
Ongoing continuous process.
continuous listening and feedback kind of process, right? So I think those are evolutions that are happening, I think, in the industry, which is good, I think, because a lot of times when you have remote working employees, they're sitting in some corner of the world, right? And if you only reach out to them once a year, then you lose the game in terms of a real life, or a real time rather, engagement elements. So I think that was great. So I think I heard you talking about the cultural piece also, right? I think which is I believe a very important piece. Sometimes, or many times, it's the personal values, right? Alignment of the personal
Personal
values with the
values,
culture, organization culture.
organization.
And I think I don't know, just correct me if I'm wrong, but I also heard you saying that it has to happen right from day one, right? It's not just, when they are like 2 3 years or 5 7 years in the organization. Engagement is something that starts sometimes. Some organizations are doing a very good job in terms of also doing candidate engagement, right? Because they need to align those. So I heard you mentioning about those points also. I just have one question, which I thought I'll bring in, saying, see, with all of this, we are talking about engagement, entertainment, and I love the point where you said entertainment is also important. Absolutely, I think those are key elements. But I like the way you said they are not same. But what's the implication of disengagement, right? If there's a cost to it, right? Why is it so important in a business scenario, right?
I
In
feel
Yeah,
disengaged employees will definitely have a cost to the organization. That is, there will be a decreased productivity, first of all.
right.
Then they will have a definitely negative impact on the means other employees. That will, they will
Hmm.
definitely have a negative working environment. They will create one. And
Right.
I think they'll have a decreased customer satisfaction, because the
Hmm.
disengaged employees will not be able to give their 100%. They won't be willing to give their 100%.
Correct.
So
Correct.
they won't consider the customers as very important aspect for the organization, and they'll treat
Hmm.
accordingly, which will
Hmm.
definitely reflect in the organization productivity and the values they stand for. That
Right.
will affect that. And I feel there'll be the targets, the monthly
Hmm.
or weekly targets will definitely hamper, because they
Right.
won't give their 100%, and that will means that will affect the employees who are engaged. And they won't be considered as they are able to give their 100%. So I feel the
Right.
engaged employees will be hampered, and which is not a good thing, I
Yeah.
feel. So
Yeah.
disengaged employees should definitely will be an added cost, or will definitely affect the cost of the
Right.
organization.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. And I think productivity is the key element that all organizations typically track, right? And that's the
Right.
business success. So in terms of the matrix, I think that's one of the major and key elements that's tracked. So yeah, that's all I thought I'll cover, because and I know that what we are planning to do as part of this is also convert this research that you did as part of the your summer internship. We will also publish this research work as a white paper, right, on Grow at Pace site for collateral, and the collaterals will be there on the Grow at Pace site, so that anyone wants to refer to this, or if they want to do a deeper research, they have this as reference, right? So that's the plan. So thanks, Ria, for doing this. I think great work, and it was really nice working with you on this and on the other areas that we worked. Right. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do a lot more of these research based. In fact, surprisingly, on LinkedIn, I came across this post where it showed that the number of research papers. Obviously, those are at the international level, that US used to be one of the core providers or major providers of research or supporters of research. So the research papers used to be huge, and then I think, but by 2019 or 2020, that matrix ended, and if I'm not wrong, I saw India on the seventh or sixth position, right from top. So I think throughout the world, and I think China was the second. So I think Asia as such has a lot more to contribute, and I think we are in that journey. So thanks for that, Ria. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you.